Look, I didn't think that the Steelers could possibly win a shootout, man. I thought it was going to be 27-23. I didn't think the Steelers could win in a shootout. But you know what? They got into a shootout and they won the football game, which just goes to show that if given the opportunity on the offensive side of the football, the Steelers have enough. Now, there's going to be some naysayers out there that are going to tell you, well, the Bengals defense is not any good. Okay. I mean, how many teams haven't put up this many points against that same Bengals defense where we're trying to say that their offenses are good? Okay. This is what the Steelers can do if given the opportunity to do it. And remember, we gave them 7 points, or should I say the refs gave the Bengals 7 points at the very beginning of the game. I mean, that was an obvious pass interference. Can't drag a man down by his helmet, and I know that Pickens was falling, but don't tell me you can still grab him by the helmet and throw him down. I don't want to hear it. The bottom line is the Pittsburgh Steelers go on the road, get a huge victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. We're going to break all that down for you, man. Thank you guys for showing up and showing out like you always do. Steelers Almighty, fastest growing Steelers channel on YouTube, man. You know what to do. If you want your question, your rant, your statement, anything up on the screen, super chats are wide open, people. I am hype. I'm excited. And the reason that I'm excited is because I told you before, if the Steelers are going to be a serious football team, they have to go on the road and win a game like this against good competition. Well, they did it, damn it. They did it. Got our first super chat of the day, man. Here we go. What's going on, Arch Baby Doll? How are you? We appreciate the support. Thank you, guys. Man, I'm just telling you. I'm telling you now, it was, for me, it was a great football game. Look, let's start here. Russell Wilson was phenomenal. Just phenomenal. 414 yards, the second most passing yards that he's had in a game in his entire career. Through just taking what Cincinnati was giving him. Tight ends over the middle, tight ends out wide, throwing slants when we needed to, throwing the ball over the middle, which he had been either reluctant or just didn't do. He was doing that in this football game. Didn't even really have, what did he have? 2 moon balls? That was it. Everything else, precise, throwing the ball the way we know how to throw. Give a shout out to Arthur Smith, too. We've been on Arthur Smith's case, for the better part of 6 weeks, if not all season. Give Arthur Smith his due and let the man know, hey, that was a beautiful game plan. They stink. They know we're going to try to run the football. They're not a good defensive team when it comes to passing. We're going to throw the ball on their ass, and that's what the Steelers did. Next super chat up. I loved how Wilson utilized the seam this week. Absolutely. He utilized the seam this week. That pass, I think the best pass of the day was to Jefferson near the end of the football game. I thought that was his best pass of the entire football game. Absolutely incredible. Our man Capricorn Steel, Russ played like a Hall of Famer today. Definitely made plays when they had to. Go Steelers. Absolutely. Absolutely. Made plays. My man is mad, says, stop crying about JPJ and Minka. Well, we're not going to do that. Baby P is always in here complaining, being mad. Joey Porter Jr., look, we'll get to that. But just to start, Joey Porter Jr. again played a horrible football game. I mean, just a horrible, horrible football game. Period. End of story. So, we'll get to that, but we're not there yet. Let's keep talking about the good things that happened. Russ was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So, look, somebody got into the comments earlier and was mad at me and said, well, look at Russ. He's scrambling around. First of all, what Russ did, I wouldn't necessarily call that scrambling. But Russ was doing the things that he needs to do. I get it. He was doing the things that he needs to do. But he played phenomenal football, man. This is the best game he's played in maybe 3 or 4 years. He hasn't done anything like this in the last 3 or 4 years. It was absolutely incredible what he did today. Incredible. And by the way, just because he played bad, he didn't play bad against the Browns, but played bad in maybe a game or two before or was just okay. That doesn't mean that he wasn't phenomenal. Today, he was. The Steelers scored 44 points, people. We can be mad at the defense, and we'll get to the defense. But they scored 44 points on the road against a good football team. You know, Joe Burrow, again, played phenomenal football. He did. Super chat coming in here by our man Garth Knight. Big B, I missed the game due to work. I'm glad the boys delivered via Artie Smith and FedEx. Hey, man, like I said, Arthur Smith did his job today. He earned his money today. And maybe it was all the talk of, North Carolina reaching out to him to be the new head coach there. And he's like, you know what? That's insulting to me. I'm a professional coach. I'm not going to coach college. I need to get on my P's and Q's. Whatever it was, I love it. I love it because the man called a hell of a football game today. Our man Luke Cage, it was good to see Muth use more today. It absolutely was. What did Muth do today? What did he have? 6 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown. Again, incredible. Used him like they should use him. They used him like they should have used him. Muth, we love it. Arch Baby Doll, again, another super chat. We appreciate all the support, you guys. Bengals got the first TD on a missed DPI, absolutely, on Pickens. I love the way Pickens rebounded. Well, here's the thing. I like how he rebounded, but George Pickens cost us 30 yards today. 30 yards and probably another touchdown. I love what Pickens did. Don't get me wrong. But George Pickens cost us 30 yards in field position, all because it's got to be about him. It's got to be about him. I'm like, come on, man. Just celebrate with your teammates. Pump your fist. I'm not saying, look, I'm not old school guy that says you can't celebrate. I'm into all of that. Celebrate. But if you're going to cost your team yards, then what's the point? It literally cost us a touchdown. It did. 30 yards. Come on, Pickens. Got to be better. At some point, he's got to mature, doesn't he? So, another super chat here. Brother man, Steelers won, so stop complaining and enjoy the win. Exactly. Just enjoy the win. Just enjoy the win. My whole thing, that first INT by Russell Wilson was absolute BS. I shouldn't say first. The pick, that was crazy. And I get it. Look, Pickens was falling down. I understand. He slipped on the route, but that doesn't mean he would have fallen completely to the ground. He may have been in there to, number one, to tackle the guy or knock the ball away or fight or do something. But he grabbed him by the back of the helmet. And if you grab somebody by the back of the helmet, that's a penalty. It's just flat out a penalty. You can't do that. And they let it go. And here's the thing. As many flags as those refs threw in this damn football game, my God, you missed that? Right out in the open? That's what you miss? Okay. Yeah, that was crazy to me. That was crazy to me. But it is. But yeah, Pickens caught 3 balls. He had a touchdown, 74 yards. He led us in receiving on 6 targets. Could he have caught more balls? Maybe. I think there was at least another pass interference that they didn't call on him that he could have gotten. But look, man, you got to stop making those plays. Got to stop making those plays. It cost us, And in big situations, we can't have it. But let's move forward. It was a good job. He played a good football game. Russell Wilson was phenomenal. Najee Harris was phenomenal. Now, let me get to the super chat here again by Arts Baby Doll. B, did you know the Steelers' momentum shifted after Watt's strip sack? Absolutely, it shifted. Absolutely. And we needed it because the Bengals were driving. I was just about to get to that here in my notes, is that the Steelers' defense didn't play well today. Let's not kid ourselves. The defense was not good today. However, They made two crucial plays when they needed to make a play. One, a strip sack. They stopped the momentum where the Bengals were driving. That helped. Then, of course, the strip sack that led to a touchdown that got us a 17-point lead. I mean, for all intents and purposes, the game was basically over at that point. So what the Pittsburgh Steelers did today on defense is not going to be good enough moving forward, but it was good enough today, and I'll take it. And again, they made plays when they needed to make plays. And also, again, like I said, the ref spotted them 7 points. So while the outcome looks like it looks 44-38, give them 31, okay? Because they spotted them 7 points and they shouldn't have. But that's football. It happens. But I like what the Steelers did, though. I really like what they did on offense. I can't be overjoyed. Our man, Easy Rollins, says, good game. Yeah, it was a real good game by the Steelers, man. It was a real good game. Now, here's something that I didn't bring up. The offensive line. The offensive line, people, played phenomenal. As good as Russell Wilson played, the offensive line might have played better. I'll just throw that out there. As good as Russell Wilson played, the offensive line might have played better. They played that good. By the way, other than the announcers, did you hear Trey Hendrickson's name mentioned? Like, other than the announcers kept telling us how good he was, how good he was, how good he was. Other than that, how did you hear his name? Like what did they mention it? They got 2 sacks. The Bengals got 2 sacks, but those were sacks where Russ is in the pocket. You know what? I'm going to run to the line so I don't lose a bunch of yardage and then get on the ground and then somebody touched them. That's what the 2 sacks of the Bengals were. Other than that, they didn't do anything. Steelers protected. Now, they didn't run the ball for a ton of yards, but that's deceiving. It's deceiving. We ran it 26 times for 110 yards. We averaged 4.2 yards a carry. You know, you got to factor in Russell's three carries for 3 yards. Jaylen Warren didn't do a ton, but Patterson did, and Najee did. I mean, the offensive line dominated this football game. And if you remember, in the pregame, I said the Steelers are going to win this game if they can control the line of scrimmage and run the football. Well, little did I know that they were going to throw the ball as much as they did. Okay, great. But when they wanted to run the football, the Steelers ran the football, and they ran it effectively, and they pass protected. You tell somebody, I said it in our podcast. I said it on the Big Show with Big G. I said a man that's going to have to play this week and earn his big payday for next year was Dan Moore. And Dan Moore Jr., again, there's more football left to be played, but he redeemed himself after that pathetic display of football that he played against the Cleveland Browns and Myles Garrett. He shut out Trey Hendrickson. He did. Shut him out. Shut him out. Not only, Trey Hendrickson had 1 tackle, and the 1 tackle was when Russ was running and he put his hand on him. He had 1 tackle. Was he getting around the corner? Yes. But you know what Dan Moore Jr. did? He stayed engaged, and he didn't let him turn the corner. And that's all you can ask for a tackle. Stay engaged. When the guy's going right, try to get around you, he stayed engaged. So, look, the Steelers, the offensive line played good. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. As good as Russ played, the offensive line might have been better. It might have been better. Broderick Jones was out there doing his thing today, ladies and gentlemen. Now, again, we're going to get the all 22, and we're going to look at it, and we're going to break it down, and we're going to have all that for you on Tuesday. But because that's what we do. We break down the all 22 of the offensive line. But I'm just telling you right now, from what I watched, the offensive line had the best day of the season. Best day of the season. So, my man Garth Knight. This super chat goes out to Steel City O-Line. By the way, I didn't watch the game, but I trust the big man hosting this channel. Garth, I'm telling you right now, the offensive line did work today. The offensive line did work today. And y'all know me. If the offensive line was bad, I would tell you that they were bad. If they were average, I would tell you that they were average. I'm as hard on the offensive line as I am anybody on this football team. Offensive line did their thing today, man. They did. They did their thing today. So, yeah, Broderick looked good. Broderick Jones looked good. Somebody's asking, did he turn a corner? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, he hadn't looked awful. Against Cleveland, I was a little bit too hard on him. He didn't look awful against Cleveland, but he wasn't great. He wasn't great. I would say he was average. But the week before, he was pretty good. Today, again, got to go back and watch. But I think he was pretty good again. I do. I think he was pretty good again. I loved what we saw out of Broad and the offensive line. So, our man Alex Burns, thanks for the super chat. Still looking for Mike Williams. Mike Williams started the football game. He started the football game. If you all noticed, he was in on the very first snap of the game. But the Steelers, I don't think they threw him the ball. Yeah, they didn't throw him the ball yet. So I'm trying to figure it out, man. I'm trying to figure it out. But no, they didn't throw him the ball not one time. But you know what? Today's not the day to complain about it. Today's not the day to complain about it. So, Brother Man says, again, thank you for the super chat. Offense come together, but we need consistency. So we'll see moving forward. Absolutely. As much as we love this football game, and as much as we're talking about how well the Pittsburgh Steelers look today, it's one game. But you know what? We can worry about tomorrow. Today, let's be happy with what we saw. Again, think about this. They mentioned it at the end of the broadcast, which I thought was kind of ironic. But the Steelers, let me find this for you guys. Oh, where'd it go? Man, I can't find it. There it is. Total yards. 520 total yards by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who would have thought that? Who saw 520 yards coming from Pittsburgh? They mentioned it at the end of the broadcast. They said, hey, you could have averaged 3 games a year ago, and the Steelers would have gotten 500 total yards of offense. And they're right. And here we are today, 520 yards. Just came out. We came out just how a lot of us said. Aggressive, throwing the football, using the middle of the field, all those things that needed to be done. Russell Wilson, was phenomenal, people. He was phenomenal. Second most yards that he's ever thrown for in his career. My man, Brad Jeffrey, is Calvin Austin III. I don't know what that means. So, but whatever you're trying to say, I think Calvin Austin is fine. I think he's got a concussion because that was a hell of a hit that he took. Russ set him up for that one. That was ugly. But he caught the ball. He made another play. I know Calvin Austin's he's out there making plays. I do know that. So I know that for sure. But he took a hit. That didn't look good. That didn't look good. And I don't even know if Russ necessarily set him up. I think the corner just made a good play and he sank. It was cover 2, and he took a gamble, and we threw it underneath, and he just rocked him. So it is, yeah. Is Calvin Austin the number 2 yet? Yeah, I think he's got to be that. I mean, as of now, we're throwing him the football, and I think that's all we were asking for is, throw the football to him. So Art's baby doll. Gotta love that pick 6 by Jackson. I'm so glad you're feeling better, Big B. Yes, I am feeling better. So Jackson didn't get a pick 6. It was almost a pick 6, but it was an interception caused by old man Hayward. Getting his hands up, playing another phenomenal game. TJ showed up today. They moved him around a little bit, but TJ was this was a game that we had to get after him, and we did. Herbig got after him. What did the Steelers have? I think they got 4 sacks on the day. had 4 sacks. TJ had 2 of them. Cam Hayward had 1, and Herbig had 1. Of course, that was the strip sack for a touchdown. It was a good day for the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Now, let's go to the defense and let's talk about Joey Porter Jr. Joey Porter Jr. Was bad. Joey Porter Jr. was again bad. Now, you expect him to struggle a little bit because of the rules and of the competition that we were playing. I mean, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. T. Higgins is the number 1 receiver. For instance, would T. Higgins be the number 1 receiver on the Steelers? Like, if we had him, would he be the number 1 guy? It would be pretty close between him and Pickens. But I would guarantee you that 20 to 22 teams in the National Football League, he would be the number 1 guy. So what we were going up against today, not to mention Joe Burrow is playing the best football that he's played all year, it's tough. It's tough. But he can't have these penalties, man. That's going to kill us. I love the analogy that they made at the end of the football game and said that, hey, he needs to go practice with boxing gloves on. Yeah, he does, so he can't grab. Yeah, he's got to. He's got to do something. He can't constantly grab. Heck, he had 2 penalties on 1 play. Lord have mercy. First it was holding, then it was pass interference, and both of them were legitimate. Like, I don't know that one of his penalties today were a penalty where you could say, I don't know. I don't even know if we got to that point, to be honest. I think all the penalties that JPJ got today were all legitimate. So, I don't know. Yeah, it didn't look good. It didn't look good. It was not a good day for him, man. It wasn't a good day again for him. Look, you can't be classified as a shutdown corner having these kinds of days. You know, you have one bad day, okay, it happens. It's football. Those guys get paid too. We've seen this multiple times now. So I'm just not it was multiple times. It was ugly. It was ugly. So he didn't have a good day today. He didn't have a good day today. And they kept throwing the ball at him too, if you notice. Like, they didn't shy away. They went right at him and just said, you can cover whoever you want. We're going at you. And he didn't hold up today. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So, but we got to clean that up. We also got to clean up some of the running stuff. Early in the football game, they were gashing us with the run. Patrick Queen, again, didn't have a good football game, people. He didn't have a good football game. We saw it. Missing tackles, coverage. Oh, Chase Brown almost tore the man's ACL there in the 4th quarter. Y'all saw it, that little swing pass. He juked Patrick Queen and fell to the ground. I'm like, come on, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't know. We got to clean some of that stuff up. I know they have a good offense, man. They do. They got a great offense. They don't even have a good offense. It is a great offense. But we got to be better. We got to be better on the defensive side. So that's the one thing that I would say that I was disappointed in today is our defense did not look good. Now, I understand they got a bunch of yards because at the 4th quarter, I think Burrow only had 161 yards going into the 4th quarter. So they got a lot of yards catching up, but they did catch up. You know, we don't have to let them score. That's the thing. We sat back in that short zone or that 2-deep zone, and we allowed them to just go down the field. I'm like, come on, man. So, but yeah, Patrick Queen didn't look good. He didn't look good. So, and here we go. Come on with the nitpicking. What are you talking about? Come on with the nitpicking. He looked bad. Joey Porter Jr. looked bad. Patrick Queen looked bad. Should we not say that? Or we're not, or should we just say, you're nitpicking? No. He looked bad. They both looked bad. I mean, it's okay to say that they didn't look good, man. So don't be the guy that says, oh, well, you know what? I know they look bad, but you're nitpicking. It wasn't that bad. No, it was horrible. It was horrible. Lord. And then, the clock management at the end of the half. Mike Tomlin. Ugh. again. Now, it didn't necessarily cost us points, but it cost us an opportunity to throw a touchdown. I know that. You know, it cost us an opportunity to go for touchdown, but just like, come on, Tomlin, what are you doing? We're like, it was almost like he was like, you know what? We're down far enough. I don't even want to go for a touchdown here. I'll just kick the field goal. It seemed like that was the case. Like he said, I don't even want to chance it. We played a good half. Let's just kick the field goal and get out of there. So, Easy Rollins. JPJ was horrible. He needs to fix it. Yeah, he was. Thank you, Easy, for the super chat. That's the thing, man. It just because it happens, like somebody said, well, it happens. I mean, what? He played bad. Are we not? Can we not just say that, or do we just have to excuse it and move on? That nitpicking would be say, you know what? Russ didn't complete every single pass. I know he played great, but he didn't complete everything. You know, he didn't complete all his passes. That would be nitpicking. Saying Joey Porter Jr. had way too many penalties and looked terrible, and Patrick Queen looked like he was lost on the football field, that's not nitpicking. That's just telling it like it is. So that's just telling you what it is. So I'm sorry. Y'all get upset because we don't disagree. Don't argue in the chat or argue in the chat, whatever you want to do. But it was a good day by the Pittsburgh Steelers. I do know that. But we got to fix some stuff. Defense got to fix some stuff. The one thing I will say, the Steelers are going to look better when they're not playing against Joe Burrow. When they're not playing against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. The defense will look better. That is a top 5 offense, if not the top offense in the National Football League. And it's weird that they're that good and their offensive line is that bad. It's weird that those two things go hand in hand, because usually when your offensive line is bad, you know, but you can't sack everybody on every single drop back. You know, you just can't. You can't sack everybody every play. And those guys get open, man. They get open. They're good. So they are good. That offense is crazy. But, yeah, it's okay to mention the things that went wrong. It's okay, man. Because, again, if you're in the playoffs, who's to say Russ is going to have the same kind of day in the playoffs, and then we got to play a team that's got a hot quarterback? Can't have those kind of penalties. We just can't. You can't be lost out there, you know? Or are we now saying that this is going to be the norm and that Russ is going to have days like this every single week? Well, I would bet and venture to say that that's not the case, you know? But also I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's going to be necessary for the man to throw for 414 yards every week. I don't think that's necessary for the Steelers to be good and for the Steelers to win. So my man JJ is saying Arthur Smith is trash. He might be trash, but he wasn't trash today, though. So he wasn't trash today. I mean, call Arthur Smith what you want. I've complained about him. You've complained about him. Everybody's complained about him. But today he wasn't trash. Today he had a great game plan, and it worked to perfection. They ran it when they needed to. They disguised stuff. I love that little in and out motion that they showed a ton of to find out what kind of coverage that they were in. Just a simple in and out motion. Not a lot. Just something real subtle to let, they're in zone. Oh, they're in man. Okay, great. This is what we're going to do. And doing the motion early to find out what they were. I thought it was great by Arthur Smith today. Call you what you want, and Arthur Smith can be bad, and he has been. But today, Arthur Smith was good. So, today, he was good. Super chat by my man, Art's Baby Doll. What's going on between Tomlin and Russ at the end of the first half? So I seen Russ making the timeout sign twice, and no one was paying attention. Yeah, what I really think, I think Russ wanted to call a timeout, and I think Russ wanted to take another shot in the end zone. I think Mike Tomlin was like, you know what? Let's just get the field goal because we get the ball at the end of the half. Let's not take another shot because he's thinking, well, if we throw it short, we don't have another timeout. There's only 10 seconds. If we don't throw the ball in the end zone, we're not even going to get the 3 points. I get that way of thinking, but my thought is Russ is hot. Let him throw the ball in the end zone and see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's put something together and give him an opportunity. But he didn't give him that opportunity. So I think that's what happened at the game. Look, the clock management, again, I think he did it on purpose. I thought it was dumb. I didn't agree, but I really believe was his reasoning. We get the ball at the half. We're got a field goal right here. If we don't throw it in the end zone and we get caught short, then we're not going to have enough time to even get the field goal off. I think that's what Tomlin was thinking there. I don't know if you guys like that. I didn't like it, but I do understand the reasoning. So I do understand the reasoning. So let's see. Tomlin cannot keep playing it safe, but I understand, I guess. I mean, I get it. Like I said, I get it. If we wouldn't have gotten the ball at the half, I think it may have been different. But I'm thinking, hey, we got a chance to get 10 points here. They haven't stopped us. And let's kick the field goal. Let's get the ball at the half. Let's go down and score again. I think that was his thinking, is that we can go down there and get 10 points, and we got this, and we can lock this thing up. But I don't know. So, but yeah, I think that's what it was. I think that's what his way of thinking was. I wouldn't have done it. So I would have taken my shot in the end zone with 10 seconds. I would have taken a shot. Didn't like the call. Didn't agree with it. Like I said, Russ was cooking. Russ, the offensive line, Arthur Smith, they had it rolling. So, but that's the conservative nature of Mike Tomlin. Look, Mike Tomlin is one of the most conservative football coaches that's out there. He is. So, and that's why I'm so surprised by this game plan, because this is not a Mike Tomlin game plan. This is not what Mike Tomlin would venture to do, throwing the ball. What did they throw the ball? 40 times today? How many times? 38 times. By the way, Russ was 28 for 38 for 414 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick, but we all know what that pick was. His passer rating was 126. Russell Wilson was cooking, ladies and gentlemen. Cooking. We were in the red zone today. We 3 for 3, 2 touchdowns and a field goal in the red zone. Red zone looked better today, didn't it? It looked better today. So I like what the Steelers did. I liked what they did. And by the way, they didn't have to bring in Justin Fields to do it in the red zone either. But they brought him in at the end of the game, and what does Justin Fields do? Like a closer in baseball. Like a closer in baseball. First of all, what was that defensive back thinking? I'm like, there's no wide receiver that way. Well, you think you're the guy that's going to make your tackle, but he's a young guy. That's what happens. That's why you run the zone reads. That's why you run it. Somebody doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. Peeking in the backfield, just not doing their job. Justin Fields gets outside. Ball game. I'll take it. So. Let's see. No, we didn't need Fields. So, Baby P, now you're insulting me? Okay. That's what we're doing now. Okay. Lord have mercy. Now I got people in the chat that are going to insult me. Oh, man. It's the Steelers win. People are happy, but then they get insulted because they don't agree with everything that you say. The Steelers lose. You have no idea what you're talking about. Go away. Ugh. Mr. Baldhead. Oh, well. It's all good, my man. I still love you. You know you're still my guy. Oh, he wasn't talking to me? Well, I apologize, Baby P. I apologize. I was wrong. I apologize. I need to stop being so sensitive, don't I? That's what it is. I need to stop being so sensitive. Look, man, my jaw, My infection has messed up my brain. I need to stop being so sensitive. Today's a good day. The Steelers won. The Steelers won. I got to stop being sensitive. My man, Baby P, I apologize, brother. I apologize. Sensitivity, Big B. I need to work on my sensitivity training. So let's see. What else do we got? I'm just so excited. The reason that I'm excited is because I put a lot of weight on this game. And I know I told you guys that the Steelers needed to go win if they were going to be considered to be a serious football team. Because if you're going to win in the playoffs, the Steelers are going to have to go on the road to go win against a good football team. Well, you could say, well, the Bengals aren't any good. They've lost 8 games. Man, the Bengals have been in every football game that they've been in. They've lost because their defense isn't great, but they've been in every football game that they have been in this season. I'm not going to say they're a good football team, but they're definitely not a bad football team. But for the Steelers to go on the road and win, you have to do that against good competition in the playoffs. This shows that we can go and win against good competition. Hell, the Bengals played the Chiefs to the wire on the road. You know, they're not a bad football team. And for us to go win, I don't know. I like it. Is Mika hurt? Nah. No. I don't think Mika's hurt. So I don't think Minka's hurt. Minka's just kind of doing his job. At some point, we got to see some splash out of Minka, though. We did see the one big hit on the sideline, but the guy caught the ball, so it didn't mean anything. But I think we got to start seeing some stuff, man. We got to start seeing some stuff. Thanks for the support, my man, Steven Stroud. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for the super chat. Again, if you want your question or your statement or anything brought up on the screen, you go right to the front of the line. So, says Big B, who makes me hate last week? This week makes me hate last week. Yeah, you could say that. I mean, look, the Steelers basically played against the Browns like, hey, we just came off a big emotional win over the Ravens. Now you're making us go on the road, play a bad football team on a Thursday night. I don't want to be here. Steelers played like that for basically 2.5 to 3 quarters. And they couldn't turn it around enough and couldn't flip the switch enough to win the football game. It happens. But this week was different. Got the little mini bye, got into the lab. The offense did some work, needed to come out aggressive. They came out aggressive, needed to throw the football down the middle of the field, threw the football down the middle of the field. Love it. Absolutely love it. Big win. Big win. And y'all know me. I don't care how we win the games. I just want to win. We could win every game, giving up 10,000 points. As long as we score one more and we win the Super Bowl, I could care less. But I do think the defense got to tighten up some stuff. Joey Porter Jr.'s got to stop. He got to stop being so handsy. He's got to stop. A couple of those penalties, he's in position and didn't need to do it. Now, the pass was incatchable in the end zone. I mean, that thing was 5 yards out of bounds, and he didn't need to do it. But then he did. I'm like, stop panicking, man. Just panicking out there. So I don't know. I think Joey Porter Jr. can be better. He's going to need to be better. Patrick Queen, he's got to be better. Who made some tackles? Look, our star, TJ, Herbig, Cam Hayward, they did their thing today. Deshaun Elliott was all over the field, made 11 tackles, 7 of them solo. Queen had 9 tackles, but 4 of them were only 4 of them were solo. But he did not have a good football game today. He just didn't. So, but we'll see. We'll see. There's, like I said, there's plenty of room for improvement. But that's what we'll do. We'll go improve. So, let's see. Yeah, the one in the end zone by JPJ was just a dumb penalty. That was just dumb penalty. There was no reason to even do that. He's just panicking out there. Just panicking. My man Easy Rollins with the super chat. I think we can go 13-4. Don't give up on that game on the Chiefs. Don't give up that game by the Chiefs. Don't just concede that game just yet. Don't do that just yet. I know what you're thinking. So don't just concede that, because you see the Chiefs' offense. Their offense is not near what Cincinnati's offense is. And you've seen the last couple of weeks, the Chiefs' defense, there's big chinks in that armor. So don't just concede. I was at the beginning of the year, even the middle of the year, I'm like, yeah, okay, the Christmas Day game, that's going to be a game we lose to the Chiefs. Not just yet. Not just yet. I'm not ready to give that one up just yet. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not ready to do that. I'm not ready to do that. So, Arts Baby Doll, B, do you feel like this was the best game for the O-line this year? Without a doubt, this was the best game for the offensive line this year. And most people think, well, the offensive line plays well. That means they ran for 200 yards. We threw the ball 38 times. And while there was some pressure, guys were staying engaged, and pushing people by, doing their job. Like I said, if the season ended today, Dan Moore Jr. would have made himself a ton of money today. And while he got help from time to time, and he did, there were plenty of times that he was by himself, and he was just fine. So, give the man credit. Give the man credit. Give all of them credit. It was a good job. So, it was a good job. Uh-oh, my producer put this up there about the Chiefs. The Steelers versus the Chiefs refs. Yeah. I mean, seriously. Again, I don't want to get off topic, but how many times are the refs going to give the Chiefs a football game? I mean, have you ever heard of anybody changing a false start penalty to, well, it was false start, but you recovered the fumble, so we're going to change it to illegal shift so that you can decline the penalty and keep the football? Are you kidding me? I mean, come on, man. It's always something, though. It's always something. Oh, man. Joey gave them 14 points today. Yeah. Joey gave him 14 points. And George Pickens, I love Pickens. I love his talent. I love what he brings to the team, but he's got to stop. I mean, he gave 30 yards back. I mean, one of the times he made a play and they negated. Now, granted, we still had a first down, but it negated all the yardage that he got on the play because he dropped the ball on the guy's chest. I'm like, come on, man. That's not necessary. That's not necessary. You can't do stuff like that. You can't. And I love it. Like I said, I love his talent. I love his talent. I love what he brings to the table. But you just can't do stuff like that. So, and you're right. Roger Jones was in his face like, come on, man, what are you doing? We're rolling here. We're rolling. We don't need this. We don't need it. So, we'll see. We'll see. And look, I like that comment, my man Mark Tobin. Pickens is a dummy. Here's my question. I'm not going to say that George Pickens is dumb. I'm not going to say that. But at what point is he going to either mature or maybe he is stupid, that he can't see that you don't have to do those things, or when you do those things, you're costing yourself and costing the team. Because I'm like, at some point, you don't have to do that. With every single kid, you don't have to do that. So maybe he is. I don't know. I would like to think that he's not, but you keep making these dumb errors. I don't know. Appreciate the super chat, Steven Stroud. We appreciate your support, man. So, now here's a question. Somebody saying Pickens is young. How long is he going to be young? This is his third year in the league. How long are you going to be young? I get what you're saying, but young people got to understand things too. At some point, you got to mature. And we can't just keep it, oh, well, they're young. We can't. Easy Rollins, appreciate the super chat. Who misses Pickett? Ooh. Does anybody miss baby hands? Because I don't think anybody misses baby hands Pickett. I love that comment. That came out of nowhere. Baby hands taking strays on the chat and Steelers Almighty out of nowhere. I love it. I love it. Yeah, no, there's not anybody saying, boy, Kenny Pickett could have done that. No, he couldn't. No, he couldn't. Stop. So that was a complete waste of a draft pick on Kenny Pickett. Yeah. Absolute waste. Absolute waste. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Didn't need him. Wasn't good enough at the time. And we panicked. That's basically what happened. The Steelers panicked. That was a Kevin Colbert, though, pick. That wasn't Omar Khan. That was a Kevin Colbert pick. And it came back to bite us. So, Big B, your facial reaction. I mean, I'm just saying. Baby hands Pickett. I mean, I don't think anybody's missing baby hands, man. I don't think anybody's missing baby hands. So, ugh. Yucky. Yucky. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Ooh, somebody's saying that was an owner pick. Yeah, it might have been. Orlando Brown was offsides on the Bengals. Orlando Brown was offsides 3 or 4 times. They finally called too many men in the backfield. Seemed like the tackles for the Bengals were lined up way offsides on too many occasions and didn't get a flag. I didn't like that. And I get it. You could call it whenever you want. No, tell the guy to move up. Every time you're back here, I'm throwing a flag. You get one warning. Move up. After that, I'm throwing the flag. Can't be lined up in the backfield next to the damn running back. So it seemed like a lot of times either Orlando Brown or Mims was lined up in the backfield. Enough. So, but a good game by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, as the scheduled or as a reminder, we're going to have the report card out tomorrow. So that'll be out tomorrow. Make sure you guys come and check that out. Then we'll have the all 22 of the offensive line. I'm telling you, they played good, but we're going to dig into the offensive line and we're going to see. But the offensive line will have that breakdown on Tuesday. Then our normal podcast will be on Wednesday. And then our scouting report for those damn Browns coming out on Friday. So, Brother Man says, Pickett is now an Eagle, so we'll see him in a couple of weeks. I would doubt that we're going to see him. I mean, we'll see him. Don't get me wrong. We'll see him on the sideline doing nothing. So we'll see that. But other than that, I wouldn't suspect that we see a whole lot of baby hands Pickett for the rest of his career. But you know what? That's not for us to say. We don't need to worry about that right now. Bottom line is the Pittsburgh Steelers went on the road, hostile environment in Cincinnati, and we won a football game 44-38 with 520 yards of total offense. Think about that for a second. 520 yards of total offense. The Steelers win a football game. Whew. Been a long time since anybody said something like that. Steelers had 520 yards and won a football game. But we did it today. I'm happy. The offense played well. Can the defense be better? Yes. Does it need to be better? Yes. But they did enough. So we're going to shut this one down for today, people. I appreciate all of you guys being out here. Again, I gave you the rundown. Tomorrow, we got the report card of how this game looked. Tuesday, we've got the all-22 coming out of the offensive line. Look good. We'll see what the all-22 says. Wednesday, we got our podcast. Remember, y'all, to call in. Y'all see the number down there. Make sure you guys call in. Good, bad, or indifferent. Make sure you guys call in. So, hold on. My man, Baby P, says, I know when we did the loss to the Browns in the playoffs, but yeah, exactly. We were playing catch up because we were down 28-0. Ugh. But yeah, man, make sure you guys call in. All you have to do is tell us where you're calling from. You don't have to leave your name or anything like that if you don't want to. We play all of that on our Wednesday podcast. We listen to it. We answer your question and go over what you said. So make sure you guys call in, man. It's fun. 412-444-8390. So make sure you guys continue to like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. We appreciate the support. We got a big one today. This is a big one. Season's not over, but this was a big one. This was a big one. It basically knocks the Bengals out of playoff contention for all intents and purposes, knocks them out, raises up our profile. We got another win, and it proves that we can utilize the entire football field on the offensive side of the football when we want to do that. So offensive line had a lot to do with it. Russell Wilson was cooking out of his mind. Receivers caught stuff. Running backs ran hard. It was a good effort on the offensive side of the football. Defense still needs a little work, but you know what? The other guys get paid a whole lot of money too. That's a crazy good offense. They hung in there and gave us the opportunity to win. So appreciate everybody being in here, man. Thank you guys, and we will talk to you guys soon. Aloha.